What's up, everybody? It's Mike.
It's Jen.
So if your father was the richest man in the world, and he says to you, hey Jen, when I die, I'm not leaving you much, what would your response be?
I mean, how much is not much?
Because
he has $70 billion.
Okay, so we're obviously talking about Bill Gates, right? Okay, I'm not giving you $70 billion. I'll give you like $1 million.
If it were me, I can't really think in his perspective though, like his son or his daughter's perspective. But if it were me right now, I'd be like, I'm cool with $1 million.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so your dad just won the lottery, let's say. Your parents just won the lottery. $80 billion lottery.
But he didn't win the lottery.
Let's pretend. Let's pretend for 1 second.
Okay.
Your dad won the lottery. This is the biggest lottery in the freaking universe. Like $80 billion. And he's like, Jen, I'm giving you $1 million when I die.
Okay, maybe I'd be a little...
Come on. You'd be upset a little.
Okay, I would.
I would. But if I tested it, I'd be like... What? Okay, well, all right. So Bill Gates' kids, obviously, they live in privilege. We have to assume,
they're living a lavish lifestyle already.
But I heard Bill Gates only eats burgers or something like that, McDonald's burgers or something. I don't know. I mean,
and also he's donating most of his money to charity.
All of it, basically all of it.
Yeah.
He's come out and said this before. I remember reading news before. We don't know how much, but he's basically come out and said he's donating at least over 90% of his fortune to charity when he dies, and not a lot of that's going to go towards his kids. Recently, he gave a reason. So he's saying, he has 3 kids. Jennifer, like you, 20.
Oh.
Rory.
Well, same age as me.
Same age as you, Rory, and then Phoebe. And he's saying he's not going to leave his children much because it's not a favor to kids to have them have huge sums of wealth. It distorts anything they might do, creating their own path. He wants to provide his kids with a good education so they can build their own careers. And then he's saying it's not like he's leaving his kids with nothing. He's leaving his kids with, like, I guess what he's saying is like...
Wait, he said he's leaving his kids with something.
Something.
And by something, that's millions. Definitely.
Sure.
Think about it.
That's not even 1% of his worth. Yeah. I mean, think about it. 1% of his worth is like almost $1 billion.
What are they going to do with all that money anyway? Like, they're just... Okay, most people...
You want me to tell them what to do with all that money? I'll tell them what to do with all that money.
Most people who have like billions or like win the lottery or whatever, they end up spending money on like drugs or like just something
Okay,
bad.
well, you're talking about the lottery curse. You're also talking about people who maybe never been in that situation before and they all of a sudden got a lot of money. They don't know what to do. They kind of lose their heads a little bit. But these kids, they grew up in privilege. All right, so first of all, do you agree with him leaving his kids basically nothing?
I can understand his...
Would you do the same thing?
I'd probably leave my kids with a little bit more.
Well, let's say you have $80 billion.
Yeah.
How much would you leave your kids?
I'd say a few billion.
Few billion. I actually applaud what he's doing. I applaud it because right now, what do we hear about in the news so often? It's like in China, right? All these really rich people that just came to two halls, right? They just came out and they just all of a sudden they were so rich. And what do we hear is a term coined in China, 富二代, which is second generation rich, which really means that your parents are rich and you're the kid. And have we even heard about maybe one good news out of China about these second generation rich kids?
They're just like snobby, spoiled kids who spend money on whatever they want. And most of the time, the things they spend it on are like useless things.
Well, and also they do horrible things because they'll feel like they're above the law. They're above what society considers like normal. Even in the States, there's the case of the affluenza teen, which like really like this kid is like basically getting off going to prison because people are like, oh yeah, it's fine because he's so rich. He doesn't understand how to behave normally. So that's, I feel like what Bill Gates doesn't want happening to his kids, which I applaud him for. I mean, couple sides, right? Like we sitting here, we can obviously say very casually, yeah, good job, Bill. Good job. Making your kids, earn their keep. And one of the kids, the oldest kid, is in Stanford right now, so that's like, but also Bill donates like $20 gazillion to Stanford. So let's say if my dad donated $1 billion to Stanford, can I get in without a good score?
$1 billion? Of course you can. And especially since you're the son of Bill Gates.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like, this kid has potential. I'll just let him in.
Look, I'm sure, I'm not calling his kids dumb. I don't know. I'm sure like they're very smart. But it's very easy for us to sit here and be like, yeah, Bill Gates, good job. $80 billion. Don't give it to your kids. Make your kids earn their keep. But if you're the kids, that's what I'm saying. If I'm the kid, my dad's worth $80 billion. Can I not have the best of both worlds? Can I not grow up, be a very centered individual, be a very down-to-earth individual? I know it's kind of hard a lot of times because we see so many cases of this not happening. But let's say if I can prove to my dad, be like, hey dad, let's say I can prove to you I'm very well-rounded and I can take your money and do great things with it. can you please leave me like $2 billion?
If I were Bill Gates' daughter and he told me about his situation and what he was going to do with his money, I would probably understand him.
Well, that's what he's saying in these news articles, is that his kids understand it.
Exactly.
Which I feel like that's also good on him for bringing up his kids in a way that they understand that, okay, life is about what we can make out of it, not what's handed down to us, and kind of just go against the grain in this society where like basically, you know, we got the Instagram rich kids, you got all these crazy Kardashians. This is like kind of what's flaunted in our faces right now, but glad these kids are able to see it his way. So anyway, guys, well, let us know what you think about this. If you were Bill Gates, or if you were as rich as Bill Gates, would you do the same thing? Thanks for watching. See you.
Bye.